Hello, content nerds. As you saw in the title and probably on the thumbnail and such, this is a re-upload, but it's not a regular re-upload because this originally existed on the main channel, Generally Nerdy. It is here on this how-to content channel because I feel like it's a little bit more suited to what we're trying to do on this channel. And I feel like because the first 35 videos, watch the Road to 1000 video that is going to go up soon to know what I'm talking about on that. But the first 35 videos of any channel have to suck. So at least I know why this one sucks. So that's what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk about what you're about to watch, and then we'll do a sign off at the end so we can, you can let me know what you think and so on and so forth. So this video, this re-upload is the Denver Comic-Con vlog from 2019. This is the video that you're gonna watch. The initial intent is many faceted. The primary function is because I feel like a lot of people who have never been to Comic-Con see Comic-Con as a kind of overwhelming experience, and I wanted to demystify it. That was kind of the big thing. But then also, I also know that there's a lot of people who don't understand etiquette, and when it comes to large functions like this, and certain people that just I don't know, there's a number of things etiquette-wise that I wanted to address in these videos as well. So that's in there, and there's also talk of the other video series that are also very likely going to find their way up here so that we can analyze them. And yeah, so that's basically what this is. The primary things from this upload that we're talking about that I've learned, that I am still learning, and that, looking at this with a very critical eye, hopefully you will see how to not do these things poorly, kind of like they are in this video. Though, again, I don't think that any of the content I have ever uploaded is bad. I'll say that. I think there's always something to learn from it, even if I feel like it's probably my best video. This is not by any stretch my best video. So the big things that I have learned by looking at this with a critical eye, first and foremost, B-roll is important, and the proper implementation of B-roll is also important, because there is technically some cuts to B-roll. We'll get to the cuts in a second. There is technically some cuts to B-roll, but it's not utilized very well. There's plenty of sections in this video where I am talking for extended periods, as I do, where I could have cut away to B-roll, made this a lot more visually interesting. So the little bit of schooling I have on filmmaking, I do know that the general rule of thumb, and this, in any art form, this being an art form in and of itself as well, in any art form, rules are more like guidelines than actual hard and fast rules. You have to do X, Y, and Z. And especially on the YouTube platform, if you are wanting to start your own YouTube channel, which again is the point of this whole channel, to kind of guide in content and such, then the rules are even more fast and loose. So, general rule of thumb for any static shot, for any individual shot in and of itself, is approximately 1 minute. If you are holding one shot for more than a minute, then it's going to feel stagnant. It's going to lose the attention of the audience. And that is exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do on this platform. We want to maintain attention for as long as possible. So anything longer than a minute is a bad idea. And on YouTube, probably anything longer than like 20 to 30 seconds is probably even going to feel very long by comparison. So that's the first thing that we learned. Second thing that we learned, like I said, we're going to talk about cuts, transitions. YouTube is notorious amongst cinematographer types and videographer types for being very fast and lots of jump cuts, and it can be kind of annoying if you're a student of film. But that is not to say that is not how the medium is progressing. So jump cuts are going to happen. The thing that I've learned by watching this video about the way I work is be more mindful of those jump cuts. Know where that cut is going to land. If you're jumping, it's got to land somewhere, right? So make sure you're much more aware of the landing, because I feel like the jump itself is what it is. You can't really make heads or tails of where it's going to go. It's the landing that's more important than the actual placing of the initial cut, I would say. So that and the abrupt nature of jump cuts is fine when doing a talking head thing like this, but when coming out of a B-roll section that is set to music, or out of a music section, we'll call it, the jump cut can be a little bit more stylized in order to make it a little easier on the eyes. Again, we're trying to keep everything visually interesting because we're trying to maintain the viewership throughout the length of the video. So you have to keep every shot as visually dynamic as possible. And transitions from a music segment to a talking head segment needs to be a little bit more than just a boring old jump cut. Towards the end of this video, there is an interview portion because I was at Denver Comic-Con as press, as media, that I got, inundated with people who were looking for media coverage. So one of the sections of this video is an interview with an indie gaming studio, which was actually really cool. I got to play their demos for a minute, and I got to talk to a couple of the people who worked for the company, and I believe it was only one of those interviews that made its way into this vlog, but it did, and so we learned something from that. That's kind of the point of doing these re-ups, is you need to be able to be absolutely critical of your own work so that you can make yourself better. It's one thing to be critical of what somebody else is doing because you're not attached to it. But if you can't be critical of your own work, then maybe that's step one, is start to try and find a critical angle to analyze your own footage. Anyway, back to, sorry, bird walking. So, the thing that we learned from that interview section is double check your footage before posting. I don't know how this got out of my hands or how this got posted, because usually I'm pretty good about this. What happened is when I do an interview like this, I try and do as many angles as possible. In this, I believe it was 2 or 3 different angles that I was filming, and one of those, at some point, the visuals were turned off. So what I think happened, I would have to watch it a lot more in depth to know for 100% certain, but what I think happened, because I've accidentally done this before, but I caught it in the past. I didn't catch it this time. What I think happened was, as I'm color grading these angles, what I do is I'll turn off the other angles aside from what I'm color grading for the initial color grade. And then once I have that set, then I'll go into the other angles and compare them to the first angle so that everything is roughly the same color, right? So probably what happened, or there's another option as well, but probably what happened is I just didn't turn the visibility back on one of those angles. So every time I cut to it, it's black. I'll go into much more detail on that style of editing in a different video where we can dedicate the whole video to it. But yeah, that's the basic. I just didn't turn the visibility back on. The other option, the other possibility, though less likely, again, I would have to watch it a little bit more detail to know for certain. But the other possibility is the camera on that other angle stopped filming at a certain point, and I just didn't realize it as I was picking my angles during the editing process. So less likely, I feel like, because usually I'm not looking at the project file right now in Adobe Premiere, so I can't say that for certain, but usually I'm pretty good about making, a note of where a certain angle may or may not stop, or, the camera cuts out because older cameras have that 30-minute record time limit. So there's oftentimes gaps for that reason. And I'm usually pretty good about making those notes. Possibly didn't happen this time. And then the last thing that we learned from this video is audio. I am an audio guy by trade. Like, that is what I went to school for, like in-depth school. I've touched on video, I've touched on a couple of other things, I've touched on editing, but what I was going for my degree in was audio production. So audio is a real big thing to me. Very probably there's not going to be an issue for you watching with the audio of this video. I hope. But to me, the audio could be much, much better. There's certain issues with the higher frequencies that I was having issues with. So the lesson learned from that is check the audio through at least 2 separate output devices. What does that mean? So check it through the speakers on your computer and check it through a set of headphones and you're good. I generally try and do a little bit of that, though it's kind of difficult because I am a one-man show. I do all of this stuff all by myself: music, video, I'm the on-screen talent and the guy behind the camera all at the same time, right? So it makes things a little bit difficult, makes the rush is real. So all of that being said, those are the things that I learned from this video. What is it that you're taking away that I did wrong on this video? Please, by all means, have that conversation with me down in the comments section and enjoy this vlog. It's a little lengthy, though not super long. Enjoy this vlog, and then I'll see you again at the end. Oh, hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is How To Comic-Con for Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. Alright, we just made it in. Day 1 hasn't actually officially started. We're not running late, which is not a common occurrence. So yeah, gonna go walk the floor, probably stake out some places to shoot for the Adventures in Photography video. But this, however, is, like you saw in the intro, this is How To Comic-Con for Denver Pop Culture Con 2019, formerly Denver Comic Con. Such a mouthful, we're not gonna keep saying it that way. But yeah, so let's go see how things have changed this year, shall we? So, just like in any Comic-Con, especially the larger of the nerd conventions, we're orienting ourselves to the floor because it changes every year. Denver specifically changes pretty drastically every year. We've talked, Salt Lake is usually relatively similar when you're talking the floor, but you always, even at a con, you know it's going to be the same. Orient yourself, because we got on the main floor, we got on the merchandise floor, whatever you want to call it, and now we cannot find our way out. So definitely want to be able to find your way around the con. Finding your way around the floor is a good thing to do, but also being able to find your way to the panels and to all of that stuff is preferred. So we just went back to the hotel room, did a little refuel, and apparently I did a reaction video while we were in the hotel room. So you can go check that out. But heading back, so Denver Comic Con is a lot of fun. Well, Pop Culture Con. I'm gonna keep calling it Comic Con until it no longer sounds awkward to say Pop Culture Con. But one of the conventions that has a really interesting opening ceremony from all of the conventions I've been to. This is last year, if you'll remember. Last year, if you'll remember, was Aquabats and some stand-up comedy. This year sounds like more stand-up, and they're doing some sort of like stand-up competition. But so we have to get back real quick because the computer was not cooperating with me, and it's made us a little bit late because it's starting now-ish, and we're gonna go shoot some of this, and then that'll be the end of day one, and we'll be on to day two.
It's tough. Somebody recommended Mad Men to me because of my haircut, and I watched it and I didn't enjoy it, and I felt obligated to watch it, and it's not right to do that to somebody. So I just, if you take one thing away from this evening, just do not recommend viewing things to people based on their haircuts. There's also a thing that I've suffered ever since I was a teenager, and what happens is, anytime I'm in a retail store, I'm accused of working there. And it doesn't matter what store it is, it happens every time. Like today, I was in a Michael's, and a Target, and a Walgreens, and I was accused of working in all three of those places. Also, I don't work at those places. I should mention I don't work there. All three of those places have uniforms, and I was dressed like this. So there really is no reason why. I racked my brain, I was like, why does this happen? And I figured out that it has to be because I look the most like I don't want to be there. So they're like, well, clearly, someone's paying him. This guy isn't here to buy ice cream to eat in his hotel suite tonight at 11 o'clock alone and cry. That's not what he's doing.
And last but not least, I am a Gryffindor. And I seek to prove that by being shameless all night long. I mean, courageous all night long. And every time I think about Harry Potter, I always have to think about the school that Dumbledore ran and how dangerous it is. And I get that no one wanted to read the book Harry Potter and the Year Where Nothing Cool Happened, and he got average grades and got bored and slipped into existential dread. I get it. I mean, I'd still read it, but no one else wants to read that book. So it has to be a dangerous school. But we don't talk a lot about Muggle parents being terrified at this world that their kids have been introduced to. Could you imagine you send your kid to school and you hear, well, kids are being petrified. By what? Giant snake. Where? In the pipes. What? Have you found it? No. It's a very big castle. So, are we shutting the castle down? Also no. Classes will go as scheduled. And it's one of those things that always blew my mind. We have to have dangerous things.
And of course, being me, I had to see everything. Yeah, so now I don't know what's higher, number of dollars spent or number of miles walked. Oh, my feet are killing me. Are your feet killing you? Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Seriously, did you guys come in here because you heard there was comedy or because you heard there was chairs? That's what I thought. That's fine. Also, I might seem a little out of it. I'm a little bit worried about my cat. It's no big deal. I think he might be a flat earther. I think most cats are. Just by default. I mean, he won't read any of the science books that I bought him. He just shreds them up, pees on them, but you know how flat earthers are. I shouldn't even talk crap about him. I wish I was smart. I don't think I am smart. Being smart is hard. It is. You know, it's work. They don't tell you that growing up. Not so much. Me, I thought it was like being tall, you know, like you either are or you're not. And it makes you more attractive for a little while. And then at some point you become too awkward to talk to. We're all super lucky Einstein wasn't also like 6'8". No one would have heard him. You know? Some guy just like, I don't know, man, he was like matter is energy, but either way, it was way over my head, so. I was like, nerd, and ran away, you know?
How amazing is this beautiful man? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Forgive me if I'm a little disheveled. I just found out like 20 minutes ago that I had a panel. I've been really hectically busy with lately, so I'm really.
It's all right. It's not that many people, Dave. Come on, get it together.
Well, I don't know if everybody realizes, but I have horrible stage fright. Yeah, it's quite.
All right. So what's going to be?
Like,
All
you
going to
gotta
have to get
pay.
naked so we feel comfortable here.
To make me comfortable, you all get naked.
Exactly. We'll just do it anyway.
Got into acting. I wanted to pursue acting because I found out how bad I was at it. No, it's a true story.
But you're amazing.
No, it was. It's a true story. I was with WWE at the time, and I went and did a film. I had zero interest in acting. All I wanted to do was wrestle. I loved wrestling. I was obsessed with wrestling. And I went and did a film as a favor for a friend, and I realized that I was horrible. I was a horrendous actor. I was so mortified that I wanted to prove that I could be better. And the company, they wouldn't let me do anything outside the company. I was stuck within the company wrestling, and I wanted to pursue acting. They said, sorry, we need you here. We need you on the shows. And I said, well, if you're not going to let me pursue something that I'm really passionate about, then I'm going to leave. And so about 8 months later, I walked out the door, and they didn't think I was going to, and I walked out on top. And I was very comfortable. I was making a very good living. And I walked out, and then I starved for 3 years. I went broke, I lost everything, I couldn't get a job. And I said that I will never go back to wrestling until I prove what I set out to prove, and that was that I could make it as an actor. And then I got the role in Guardians, and when I got the role in Guardians, I finished the film. And the first call I made after I wrapped was to Vince McMahon. I said, hey man, I'd really like to come back and wrestle for a little bit.
Yes.
So, lots of issues this morning, but this is day 2. Note to self and anyone, always take memory cards. That was my issue this morning, as I left my memory card in the hotel room, so I had to run back and get it, and then we were late getting into the Dave Bautista panel, which you just saw a little bit of stuff from. Bautista was actually kind of great. I was expecting it to not be quite that good, and I see some cosplay I gotta go take pictures of, so hold that thought. Heading back to the hotel room again. It's about lunchtime, so we're gonna go take a breather, kind of reassess our situation, kind of gather everything up. Whew. It's outside now, so lighting's gonna be a little crazy. But so far, I really feel like this year's Denver Comic-Con, again, we're just gonna keep calling it that. This year's Denver is a lot better than previous years, even though I feel, again, like it's slightly smaller. I just feel like execution is the way to go. Got a little bit of a panel. I'm gonna try and catch the Patrick Warburton panel too, so we can see what those large panels look like, because previously when we've been doing this, I've really only got the smaller panel rooms. So, but we're gonna take a look at all of the aspects of Comic-Con. That's why we do these videos, right? So that's where we're going. Let's get back to the con. All right, Denver Pop Culture Con. This is my 3rd approximately year being here as media. Thank you, Denver Pop Culture Con, for giving me the clearance. But because I am here as media, I got to do something interesting in that I got to test out some video games. And this, what was your name one more time, boss?
Alex.
Alex is one of the developers for those games. You just saw a little bit of footage of me playing them. You're on the team for...
Yeah, we're Serenity Forge. We're a Boulder independent game company.
And you're on the game that you're on the development team for was the Kingsburg, right?
Yeah. So our one of our most recent IPs is the Kingsburg. It came out pretty recently. We did a bunch of PC launches, a bunch of console releases. Now we're pushing out Half Past Fate. We brought it to Comic-Con this year, or Pop Culture Con. Still, yes,
I've been calling it Comic-Con all day too, so
yeah,
no worries.
We'll eventually make an adjustment, but yeah, we're showing that. We're showing Once Upon a Coma, which Kickstarter's is wrapped up, and we're testing now. But yeah, Kingsburg was the one that I jumped on, and I've done some writing for Half Past Fate as well.
So Once Upon a Coma is the newest one.
I mean, we've been showing it to cons like PAX and other places for
Right.
a long time, but now it's finally getting closer to release.
That one was a lot of fun as well. The Half Past Fate, just not my style, I think.
So it's for whoever's listening, it's a romantic comedy game. So
Right.
you're gonna. It's about.
It's about hitting on a girl at the chapter that I played.
Yeah. It follows 3 different narratives at 3 different time scales too. So like
Oh, okay.
one takes place over like a decade. One takes place over 2 weeks. One is like that day. Like
Interesting.
that day, next day, you know. But they all get interwoven. So think like Love Actually, the last couple like scenes in a game. That's what you can expect.
And the artwork was really cool. I'm not trying to be down on the game at all. It just wasn't my style. That's all that is. So right now, Kingsburg is available on Steam. Is that correct?
Yes, Kingsburg is available on Steam for any coming sales, but we also have a PlayStation, Xbox, and a Switch release.
Oh, sweet! That's really awesome. Are all 3 games going to see a release on the big 3, or
They're out right now, actually.
all 3 games?
Oh, wait, no, not.
Yeah, Coma and Fate as well.
So, it's Coma. We're looking at get my dates right. Coma is coming out this summer for PC.
Okay.
Half Past Fate, we're looking at September, and then later on in the year for consoles.
Awesome. Awesome.
Kingsburg's the only one that's out right now that we're demoing that you can buy.
That's really cool. And Kingsburg, I'm going to give a glowing review from the little bit I played. It's a puzzler. It's definitely a platform puzzle game, and like right in the vein of old school Xbox Live Arcade. Like it would be totally at home on that platform. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Go find it. I think you guys are selling it here at the con for $15. Is that what it is on Steam as well?
So it's 20 on Steam. Yeah, we're doing like a 25% discount. So yeah, $15. You can buy it at our booth, and you get posters for free.
Awesome.
We're selling posters. They're pretty small, but you know.
So that's another perk to coming to Comic-Con. Aside from just having the fun, you also get the cheaper. You get the game for cheaper. It's $5 cheaper getting it directly from you guys than if they were to download it on Steam. So that's definitely something to consider when you're at Comic-Con. There's deals, not only just deals on art you can hang on your wall, but playable art as well. So that's really awesome. Thank you, Alex, for talking with me for a couple minutes, and we are going to get right back to the convention, nerds. All right, here we are on day 3. Day 3's usually, pretty much always, the shorter of the 3. And I'm already tired and I just got here. But I have a lot to do, so let's get doing it. Okay, so yeah, like I said, day 3 usually is a shorter day, just in general, but especially for me, because, you know, all of the adulting things have to start happening again. So, we are calling it a day early. There are obviously still a lot of people here at the convention. I'm gonna try not to photobomb some people and get through here quick. But yeah, it was a great con. This year, I feel like Denver has the crowd control thing definitely taken care of. Though apparently we have escalators out. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh. Lots of crowd. Oh boy. Day 3, I totally forgot to talk about this before, but day 3 at Denver is Family Day. I feel like Salt Lake does something like that too, though I think that might be day 1 at Salt Lake because of the difference in schedule. Salt Lake goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where Denver goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I feel like if Salt Lake does it, and I'm pretty sure they do, it's day 1 and Denver is day 3. So you're gonna see a lot of kids at Comic-Con on day 3 if you're going to Denver. You're gonna see a lot of kids on day 1 towards the end of the day because it is, again, a Thursday at Salt Lake. So kind of subtle differences like that, but this has been a lot of fun. I'm super excited to have gotten in again this year. Hopefully we can keep it up and continue to get proper media coverage, or proper media access at Denver Comic Con. But otherwise, Denver Pop Culture Con, I'm sorry, we keep doing that. Otherwise, guys, thank you again for joining. I'm gonna weave my way through traffic as I'm doing this. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. If you like the episode, there is a like button, you know, that thumbs up thing, or the thumbs down if otherwise. I ain't mad at you. Hi. Seeing people you know always happens. Yeah, so if you want to check out the other stuff that's going on the channel, check the boxes there to the left of my face to do that. But before we go and do all of the things and click on the boxes, or the website, generallynerdy.net, patreon.com/generallynerdy, all that jazz. Always. So yeah, that is what I shot and the things that we have learned. Did I, was there anything else that you saw aside from the B-roll, the transitions, the lack of footage for that third camera angle for the interview, and the audio issues that I noted at the intro of this video? Is there anything else that I missed? Again, let's have that conversation down in the comments. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me on this how-to content re-up. This is going to be a thing going forward on this channel. I'm going to take old videos that don't really fit with my current formatting on the main channel, put them up here for the content that they were initially supposed to serve as well as an analysis of the making of said content. So if this is something that you enjoyed, definitely subscribe, because that's kind of the point here. Again, see the road to 1,000 video that will come up probably in a week or two. Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in for this how-to content. We will see you again next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here, and I'm gonna help you make it.